Here's the secret. Your posture isn't just about how you look. It's about how efficiently your body works. It shapes your energy, your breathing, and even how you carry yourself through the day. In subtle but powerful ways, posture influences how you feel and how you function. What if one of the most meaningful things you could do today was to simply work with gravity instead of against it? We experience 1,000 waking minutes on average every day. How are you spending yours? I'm Dr. Wendy Bazilian, and you're listening to 1,000 Waking Minutes. I can't wait to connect with you here with practical ways to eat well, move daily, and be healthy, to optimize every waking minute you live for a happier, healthier life. Thank you for sharing some of your waking minutes with me today. Let's get started.
I'm saying yes to better days, yes. I'm on my way, yes. It's gonna be okay, yeah.
Hello and welcome to 1,000 Waking Minutes. I'm Dr. Wendy Bazilian, and I'm so pleased and grateful you've chosen to spend a little bit of your life's currency, your waking minutes with me today. Calling all slouchers. Did you just sit up a little taller? Today, we are talking about posture. Yes, we are. I'm wearing a sparkly shirt because it doesn't tend to be the most sparkly of topics, but I'm hoping to manifest it to become sparkly for you. If you have an instinctive correction that you do anytime that someone says, like, sit up or stand up or hey, you, then you know what I mean. A lot of us are living slightly slumped over a lot of the day, whether it's in front of a computer screen, our heads tipped over, looking down at our smartphones. But 5 minutes from now, many of us will be posture corrected. Not forever, because it's inevitable that we tend to double over again. We sit up for a while, we're sitting in an audience, someone calls our attention, they look at us, we sit up straight and tall. And then little by little by little by little by little, there we are again, a little bit slouched. So we are going to fix that. We become a nation of slumpers. It's an occupational hazard. We have screen-centered lives, and it's a constant battle against the 24/7 of gravity, of course, because we live on planet Earth, at least so far. These minutes we live, the 1,000 waking minutes that I talk about, the same time we all get, the great harmonizer, I think, the equalizer, I should say, is where we are able to make our strategic choices about how we spend some of those waking minutes each day. We use our 3 pillars: eat well, move daily, be healthy. And today we're, into the move daily and be healthy pillars because we're looking at one of the most fundamental and simple aspects of a human frame, and that's posture. And you'll see, in fact, you'll discover that since you're listening at the moment, you will fix that, which is great. And some of us have different kinds of limitations in our body mechanics and our body form. But no matter what, posture matters. And we're not talking about aesthetics. We're not talking about etiquette in how you present yourself to the world. This really is about mechanics today. So what is the strategic choice we're going to make? Well, poor posture can throw off your neck, your back, your shoulders. It can cause pain and a cascade of aggravations in the body. It can drain our energy. In fact, I've said this before, that when you tip your head forward to look at your phone, even at a small angle, 5-10%, it becomes 60 pounds of force. A 10-pound noggin, 60 pounds of force just by tipping it several degrees forward. But the payoff of a slight adjustment, an intentional shift, is huge. So I've shared the story of this client before, a petite woman in her 60s that I was working with. who was struggling with back pain. Now, we were working on nutrition and lifestyle, but she was, working on a consistent and intentional posture practice as well. She was doing some PT, some gentle exercises. I was sort of emphasizing it as well because I feel competent, comfortable, and I am a certified exercise physiologist to sort of reinforce the work she was doing. She became thrilled that she got relief from her pain from working on some posture and some things that I shared because she was working at the PT. I coordinated and communicated with her physical therapist so that, I wasn't overstepping boundaries and giving her a few little exercises, like everyday exercises that I'm going to share with you today. And her best moment, and she made a lot of strides in her health, but her most joyful announcement that she said to me was, I've gained a whole inch. That was how she started a session one time with me. I've gained a whole inch. She actually got taller, I'm putting that in air quotes right now, reversing years of spinal compression. Of course, we know that she didn't actually get taller and she was doing like sort of spinal decompression, which allowed her to elongate and actually feel, and if you measured her, taller. But that's super notable. It's super fun. It was such an interesting one. It sort of reminds me of the time when one of my first books about superfoods, they came and said, "Oh my gosh, I've been doing some of the things in your book." And the best thing she said, "I found my words again." I was like, "You found your words again." It was her cognitive benefit that she found from doing it. And it was the last thing I expected at the moment. That was sort of like this woman who came in and said, "I've gained a whole inch," when we were talking about another subject, but I was checking it with her and I was so delighted. But that's the power we're tapping into. It's making these small intentional adjustments for a hopefully dramatic health return. And it's the core principle of some things that I'm talking about this year as big patterns that I'm seeing and hopeful about in food, nutrition, health, and well being trends of efficiency and enhancement in our lives. So let's talk a little bit about the science for a moment. Why posture matters. Not a like stand up straight because someone told you to sort of way, as we do with children sometimes, or to make us all feel like we're being respectful to the people we're engaging with, or to gain our power pose so we're confident, but in a real evidence based way. Let's look at the return on investment, the ROI, on our ROI, the returns on intention, and what we're going to do with our posture today. So it's not just how we look, but how it shapes how we feel, how we move, and how much energy we have. The way we build posture and adjust our posture can literally give us more energy. So, what's the cost of our slouching? That's what I'd like to ask. Why does our posture drain us? Well, one of the clearest places we see this show up is in low back pain. Low back pain is now one of the leading causes, can you get that, of disability worldwide. One of the leading causes of disability. And it's not some little niche issue or older adults suffer from it. It's global and it's crossing, well, mostly adulthood, but it's crossing boundaries in terms of what decades of life it's impacting. When researchers analyze global burden of disease data from and through 2021, they found that nearly 453 million working age adults globally are living with disabling low back pain. 453 million working age adults suffering from low back pain. So this number is staggering. And posture is not the only driver, let's be clear about that, of low back pain. It's complex. There's many things. There's movement patterns, there's accidents, there's strength, there's stress, there's work demands, there's workplace injury, there's injury history. Those all matter. But posture is one of the most, if not only, modifiable factors that you can change, and not only change, but change immediately. And it quietly shapes how those other forces land on your body. So when your alignment is off, your muscles in effect start to work harder just to hold you upright because like after all we're going to work hard to stand when we're standing, right? Our joints absorb the stress and they absorb stress they weren't designed to carry when we're compensating for minimizing the low back pain or dealing with it. And over time, that inefficiency totally adds up and it doesn't stop at discomfort. So that's a major piece of the return is that crippling effect, low back pain. There's also a very real ripple effect into how we function, our productivity on a day to day basis. A 2024 workplace report found that nearly half of employees with musculoskeletal conditions, things like chronic neck, shoulder, or low back pain, reported reduced work productivity. Makes sense, right? But nearly half reported that. That's not a side problem, a fringe problem, an in the parentheses problem. That's a systems issue. And this is largely self reported data, which definitely matters. We're talking about how people experience their bodies while working. So while this is a self report and not like a scientific measurement, how people experience their work life in this case makes a lot of difference. Our lived experience really counts here. And when your body is quietly fighting gravity all day, which we all are, let's face it, it takes our attention, our energy, and our patience away from everything else. So if we're in pain or if our posture is saggy, then we can't fully attend to our life. So the strength around that and the posture fixes. And posture can become an energy tax on our bodies. Like it can tax us, not tax us financially. Well, you know what? Financially too. But I meant sort of taxing our body in a way that you didn't really realize you were paying in the first place. So, what is the return then? What's the benefit of standing tall? That's the good news that I want to share. When your alignment improves, the return isn't just less pain, which is huge, by the way. Less pain. Some people be like, I'd give anything to be out of pain, but it supports your whole system. When the spine and rib cage aren't collapsed, your circulation improves. Sounds obvious, but that's a big deal. Blood can't move as efficiently, it can't deliver oxygen as efficiently to your tissues, including your brain, when you're slouched. Many people notice clearer focus and steadier energy simply from sitting or standing more upright. That would be a win, and it's worth trying. Digestion benefits too for a similar reason. When your torso isn't compressed, your organs have room to move and do what they're supposed to do. Now, this isn't glamorous, but it allows us, a lens into our practical biology, our physiology. And space between our rib cage really matters. And there's a strong connection also between posture and headaches. I find this interesting because I suffer from headaches, including migraines. A forward head posture, no surprise to this piece, but also rounded shoulders. It increases tension on your neck and your upper back, and it can feed chronic tension headaches. It can also make migraines worse. It's a different mechanism. It's not all been discovered on how migraines happen, but certainly it can exacerbate symptoms for tension for sure, and migraines likely. Improving your ergonomics, improving your posture and your alignment often can reduce the muscle strain, reduce the severity, or reduce the duration, like how long the headache will last. And then there's, of course, social and psychological pieces, which is real whether we like it or not. So, posture is our body language. It affects how others read us, how we read ourselves as well. It impacts, and that's where you hear about like the power poses before presenting, which research has supported to some degree. Some have contested it as well. But research in social psychology and workplace settings consistently shows that upright posture is associated with confidence, engagement, and presence. There's no surprise there, but try that sometime, maybe with a loved one, so you can try it out, like how you come across delivering the same information when you're sort of slouched and a little bit shoulders forward versus standing up. Not only how you're perceived, but how you feel when you're doing that. So it doesn't mean pretending to be someone you're not, but allow your body to be part of the conversation and support the message that you're carrying forward. And there's also, of course, a visual side effect there. When your spine is stacked up nicely, we appear taller, we appear leaner, we appear more at ease, believe it or not. So that's not the goal. Vanity's not the goal, but I'll take it. It's a natural outcome of the process. So when we talk about posture here is like a strategic piece. It's a strategic step. I'll give you some practices. I'm not talking about being rigid and upright and mechanical and robotic, but about efficiency in terms of how you feel physically, psychologically, energetically, and how you present to the world. So, let your skeleton do more of the work here so your muscles don't have to carry an extra load. Do your strength training exercises, do all the other things that we know. But recognizing that posture isn't the whole story, it's an important part of one. And it's one of the most accessible levers that we have. It's something you can actually practice. So this is not theoretical returns. These are real benefits that can show up in your body and how you feel as well. And I think it's worth paying attention to. Sit up. Okay. So now we're going to have a mindful minute here. And as we do that, I want to take this strategy into our time together. And our mindful minute is always geared in these episodes to give us a little reset time. And today we're going to do it with a posture emphasis, something that I've learned by association from my spouse, Jason, and through reading about it and researching and teaching about it with our work over the years. And it's a practice from Tai Chi and other sort of Eastern movement traditions that I'll call a silk thread visualization. So before we begin our mindful minute together, I'm going to get my timer ready here as we do this. I'd like you to uncross your legs if they're crossed, put your feet on the ground or the floor or the earth if you're so lucky to be outside, and simply sit, relax, but then also straighten up your posture, roll your shoulders back today, and ground yourself. Let's take a pre-mindful minute breath in together through the nose. Pause and exhale through the mouth. Now I'm going to begin the timer and I'll guide you just a little during. I want you to visualize a hair-thin silk thread attached to the very crown of your head. Just breathe. In traditional Chinese medicine, I've come to learn, this is known as Bai Hui, 100 meetings. It's a point at the top where all energy converges. And picture that silk thread pulling up, 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 up into the sky, into the celestial space above you. Breathe. Feel that upward pull elongating your spine. Tailbone should feel weighted toward the earth. Your skull should feel lifted. Your head is over your shoulders. Your shoulders are over your hip. Feel your chest open, and we'll take one more breath in. Exhale through the mouth. And that's it. Just a little over a minute. Release the tension in your neck and jaw if you haven't already. Hopefully you feel that. Hopefully you feel your core is subtly engaged. And that's our mindful minute. Straight is the shape, up is the direction. Thank you for sharing that mindful minute with me today. The challenge is remembering to do all this. And our fix is setting up some tiny and automatic reminders. These are some posture prompts I want to give you. I have just a few real practical strategies that I hope that one or more will relate to that you can weave into your day, into your 1,000 waking minutes. So one is your straighten up micro prompt. This is all about efficiency. In order to interrupt our slouching habit loop, my friend's grandmother was onto something when she worried about her stooping. So she taped a note to her kitchen cupboard and said, straighten up. It became her cue. You can have similar things like when you put a napkin on your lap at mealtime, that can be your straighten up cue. So your straighten up cue is anything. It doesn't have to be a post-it note. It doesn't need to be an actual note that says straighten up. But when you put your napkin on your lap at mealtime, use it as a silent cue to straighten up your sitting posture. Another version of the straighten up is a text check. Let's call it that, the text check. Every time your phone notifies you, dings, alarms, anything that has a sound on your phone, do a full posture check. Roll your shoulders back. Make sure your ears are over your shoulders over your hips at the moment. Even if the phone vibrates, if you put it to almost silent and it's vibrating, do a posture check. That's the straighten up cue. Number 2 is, I'm putting this in air quotes, the tuck them into your back pockets stance. This is a 2 to 3 second check you can do standing or sitting. And it's about engaging your upper back muscles. These are the small muscles. I've had physical therapy in this area because I sit at a computer long hours and I have migraines, as I mentioned earlier, and I need to constantly manage this. I've been told the big muscles need attention, but it's really the small muscles, especially between the scapula, your shoulder blades, that need a lot of strengthening to help you with posture. So this is about engaging your upper back muscles, which are often stretched and weakened by slouching. So you let your arms just hang down beside you. Turn your hands so your thumbs point forward to start. So your thumbs are pointing forward. Then you're going to adjust your shoulder blades by moving them in toward the center of your back. You're trying to feel an extension of your chest while your shoulder blades come in toward each other. So you're sort of like tightening, but it's like a small movement. And act sort of like you're trying to tuck those shoulder blades into the back pockets of your pants. This is a tuck them in the back of your pants. This is something that's a very subtle movement. Your arms are just dangling, and you're trying to tuck your shoulder blades, your scapula, into pockets of your pants. This is a visual. So hopefully that will be a good one for you. Hold for a breath. Keep your neck and shoulders relaxed. If they're not, try to do that. You'll find you're opening your chest and you're settling your shoulders without overextending them. So that's the second one. Tuck them into your back pockets. Of course, you can't get them into your back pockets. This is a visual. These are the names. The third one I learned, a trainer, a friend of mine, Diane, taught me years ago. And I hope she remembers this if she ever hears this episode. And this has done wonders for me. And I've shared this with so many people. It's called walk holding teacups, the walk holding teacups exercise or drill. And this is about connecting on our posture. So my trainer gave me this drill years ago and I loved it. I was in sort of like an aerobic dance studio space. And she told me this for dynamic posture. That's the posture that you're doing when you're walking and walking along the streets and going. So how do you maintain good posture while you're walking? Well, one part is how you stride, of course. But this is one to check yourself on your posture. And you can do this whenever you're walking. So what you want to do, and imagine this, I'm seated at the moment. So you're going to have to imagine this, or you can get up and if you're listening, do this on the spot. I hope that someone's out there walking right now listening and you can do this. You stand tall, you bend your elbows to 90 degrees. That means that they're out in front of you. So they're straight down beside your body until your elbows hit and then you're sort of pointing out in front of you. Turn your palms face up as if you're holding two teacups. You've got a saucer and a teacup. And imagine balancing a teacup and saucer in the palm of your hand. And they're full and they've got hot tea in them. Well, now I want you to walk with those teacups across the room. Maybe they're not too hot, so if they splash a little bit, that's okay as well. And as you walk holding the teacups in the palms of your hands, trying not to spill that tea. This immediately opens your chest up. It settles your shoulders, it rolls them back a little bit, and it forces your arms to move in a way that promotes excellent posture. And it truly feels fantastic. And it makes you look different. We've done this together. We've walked toward each other, clients and I. I've done it myself, and I've done it toward a mirror. It is remarkable, this holding teacups posture check can do. So those are the 3 that you can try. And I hope that you'll take those, 1 or more, to help improve your posture and reap the rewards that are inevitable from decreasing, hopefully, pain, if you experience that, and increasing energy, circulation, confidence, even perhaps as well. So posture is an investment in your well-being, and it's a commitment to your long-term health. And it's a way to optimize your energy and your circulation. You can stand up to the slouch. And I think that that's my final message for today. As you move through the remainder of your 1,000 waking minutes today, my invitation to you is to check in with your posture once or twice. You don't have to do it in some magical way or orchestrated. Just do it intentionally and check in. Or maybe share the things I shared with someone else, and you'll automatically be doing them when you do that as well, and you'll be helping someone else. The great thing is you don't need any new gear for this. You just need some intentional awareness and maybe a few tips like I provided today. So it's not sparkly, which is why I showed up in my sparkly shirt today to try to make it a little more sparkly, but just some micro actions for you to try. Set yourself with a prompt. Maybe it's on your phone even, to do a mini posture check every hour or 2. Practice that silk thread visualization, that idea of bringing the energy upward, your spine straight, the energy up. The next time you're standing in line even, or waiting for the tea kettle to whistle, or the toaster to ding, or the Zoom to update before you log in. And tuck in your chin. Remember that sometimes with our head, slight adjustments. Tuck in your chin and tuck those scapula, tuck your shoulder blades into your back pockets. You'll improve your posture and you'll release some of that strain that comes from our constant time on our phones and our computers. And give yourself a pat on your back for your beautiful upright back, because you've got the power to do this. So that's all for today. If you've enjoyed this, or if someone else could benefit, I'd love if you'd share it. It's one of the most often overlooked aspects of our health until it's a problem. And to wrap it up, I hope you can see that optimizing our health isn't always flashy and sparkly. It doesn't always require a ton more effort, or even moving out of a space or signing up for a class. Sometimes it's just about making these small intentional adjustments to our already hopefully wonderful lives toward health. And how you carry yourself through the day is very important. It's a powerful strategy that you can do to influence our movements, how we breathe, how we feel in our bodies, and how we show up in the world. So stand up to gravity, literally and figuratively. It's one of the simplest ways you can support. So I'm grateful for you being part of this community here. You can find me at wendybazilian.com. You can find more information in the show notes. And please join on in Instagram at 1000 Waking Minutes. I also have a new monthly newsletter on LinkedIn, which I'm excited about. And I appreciate your support and tuning in. I'm Wendy Bazilian. This is 1000 Waking Minutes. And until next time, be well. Thank you for tuning in to 1000 Waking Minutes. A huge thank you to our amazing collaborators, including our production and marketing teams, and Gabriela Escalante in particular. To the ultra-talented Beza for my theme music, my lifelong friend and artist, Pearl Price Photography and Design, to Daniel Ballantyne, Jen Nguyen, Joanna Powell, and of course my family, and everyone working tirelessly behind the scenes. And to you, our valued listeners, I so appreciate your support. If you enjoyed today's episode, please consider leaving a comment, writing a review, and giving 1,000 Waking Minutes, that's us, a 5-star rating. And please hit subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you enjoy your podcasts. Please follow and stay connected at wendybazilian.com. And don't forget to share with your friends. Your support helps us grow and bring you more great content. Until next time, find some simple opportunities to optimize those 1,000 waking minutes each day.
I'm saying yes